Alrighty, gang. You can't see my face, but look at my outfit. I'm bringing out my inner dad today, okay? Inner dad, inner travel dad, okay? Because today we are going to be talking about abandoned amusement parks. Isn't that fun? We're going to go on vacation. We're going to go all over the world, and we're going to be talking about different abandoned amusement parks. My name is Sydney. Hi, for all you newcomers. Welcome to the channel. If you know me, you know I like to talk about weird things, creepy things, spooky things. Grab a little road trip snack, okay? Grab a little drink. You're going to need some coffee since we're going to be on the road. Somebody's going to need to keep me up, okay? I am going to be your tour guide as we travel the world looking at different abandoned amusement parks. Before I get into today's video though, I do want to say that we are going to be talking about animal abuse today, which is something I don't think we've talked about before, but I just want to put a little disclaimer out there. If you're sensitive to, or if you don't want to hear about animal abuse, that is completely understandable. So once I start talking about Discovery Island, if you want to check out for the day, that is totally fine. But I just wanted to put out that little disclaimer before we get into it. I'm full of notes today. Another little thing before we get into it is that since we're talking about places all over the world, I'm obviously going to be butchering a lot of different names. I'm just bad at pronouncing things. So anyway, let's get into it. So our first stop today is in a little town in Belgium called Daddyzel. So the amusement park we're going to be talking about, called Daddy Park, was built by the Basilica of Our Lady Daddyzel. So this park actually started out as a playground, and it was used by the pilgrims that would come in and out to the basilica, and their children would often use this space to play and just have fun while their parents were off doing religious things. By 1980 though, it was actually converted to an amusement park called Daddy Park, and it was nice because it was affordable for everybody coming in and out of town, and even the people that lived in Daddyzel itself. It was just a great little place to go. So at first, Daddy Park was extremely popular, and during their peak year, they had over 1 million park goers coming in and out. So this park had carousels, bumper cars, boats, trains, slides, and swings. So this park kind of had everything. Tragically, in 2000, a boy actually lost his arm while he was on the jet boat ride within the park. Before this, there had been little incidents and accidents that had happened within Daddy Park, but this was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. Understandably so, nobody wanted to go to the park after this accident had occurred because people realized how dangerous Daddy Park really was. In 2002, they closed down the park for improvements, but like most of us could probably guess, they never reopened. From 2002 to 2011, people were still coming to the park though. They would drink and graffiti the walls of the buildings, and they would just come to see the ruins of what was left of Daddy Park. In 2011, Daddyzel decided to demolish the park, but it wasn't actually completed until 2017. From what I could tell, they're actually planning to reuse this area as a recreational place with different trails and things like that. So hopefully they can reuse that and make Daddy Park kind of revived and better. So next off, we are traveling to Japan to talk about Gulliver's Kingdom. Located at the base of Mount Fuji in Kamakura, Japan, there sits a place called Gulliver's Kingdom. This amusement park, as you could probably guess, is named after the classic novel Gulliver's Travels. The park was created and built to kind of be an economic boost for Japan in the 1990s. The $350 million project, though, didn't quite meet expectations. It opened up in 1997 and was only operational for about 4 years. It's speculated that the location of the park is actually why it wasn't very popular when it was open. Although Gulliver's Kingdom provided a gorgeous view of Mount Fuji, it was situated very closely to Japan's suicide forest, if you've heard of that. It also didn't help that the village of Kamakura is home to a doomsday cult. Yeah, that didn't really do them any favors. So the cult Aum Shinrikyo was actually responsible for the 1995 sarin Tokyo gas attacks. The attack killed 12 people and injured many others that were on the Tokyo subway that day. So with the combined tragedies that happened around that area, it's no surprise that people didn't really want to travel to Gulliver's Kingdom. Additionally, there weren't very many attractions at Gulliver's Kingdom. There were bobsleds and luge rides, but they weren't meant for kids. So really the only thing that kids could do was view the 147-foot statue of Gulliver. This statue is what made me want to talk about this place actually, because what is that? I'm gonna see that in my nightmares tonight. That's the paralysis demon that is sitting in my closet. It's surreal, it's so creepy, and I love it, and I hate it, and I love it. So the park closed its doors in 2001 and remained untouched until 2007 when it got demolished. It's kind of sad because a lot of people went to Gulliver's Kingdom after it was closed to obviously view the abandoned park because it was creepy and nature was kind of taking over, so it looked very pretty. But at the same time, you had a gorgeous view of Mount Fuji. So it's kind of a tragedy that they tore down this cool, creepy place. Alrighty, folks, we are headed to Ukraine. More specifically, Pripyat, Ukraine. I know I'm not saying that one right. Pripyat? Pripyat. We are headed to Pripyat, Ukraine. We're headed to Pripyat, Ukraine. We're headed to Pripyat, Ukraine, where in the center of the city there sits a completely abandoned amusement park. This park was set to open on May 1st, 1986, and it included attractions like a Ferris wheel, bumper cars, a paratrooper ride, and swinging boats. The project was commissioned by the Soviet Union and was going to be named the Park of Culture and Rest. And if that doesn't sound fun, I don't know what does. However, the opening plans were halted as on April 26 of 1986, the Chernobyl disaster occurred just miles away from the park. The entire city of Pripyat had to be evacuated, and this left the unused, unopened park completely abandoned. Today you can actually visit the amusement park. It has to be on a guided tour, and they very closely monitor the radioactivity of the park and of the visitors to make sure that everybody stays safe. I feel like someday I would want to visit an abandoned amusement park because looking at some of these pictures, it just seems so eerie that a place that usually harbors so much happiness and joy just sits rusted and abandoned and completely quiet. So lastly, we are going to be returning to the United States and we're going to be talking about Discovery Island. Again, trigger warning, there's going to be some animal abuse talk, so if any of that is uncomfortable for you, we'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed the video, but if you are cool with it, let's talk about Discovery Island. So within the magical world of Disney, there is a place called Discovery Island. So Discovery Island, which was originally named Treasure Island, opened on April 8th of 1974, and it's located in Bay Lake, Florida. This park was based on the 1950s film Treasure Island, and it featured a boat ride to the island as well as an 11.5-acre nature preserve. And this nature preserve included one of the largest bird enclosures in the entire world, as well as an exhibit on giant tortoises. Overall, they housed about 150 different animals within Discovery Island, which is frickin' crazy. In 1999, Disney was charged with 16 different cases of animal cruelty and settled out of court for $95,000. Evidently, Disney was holding many different vultures in this tiny little cage all together with little food or water, which is horrible. It also said that they beat some of the vultures to death. Additionally, it said that they shot a couple of hawks and falcons that they were housing, and they knocked some of the eggs of different bird species out of their nests, basically destroying the eggs. Apparently, they wanted to keep the park more quiet and under control, so this was their solution. Thanks, Disney. That's super fucking shitty of you. Rehouse the animals. Just give them to a different place that can take better care of them instead of claiming that you're having a nature preserve and protecting these animals when you're actually treating them horribly. Discovery Island closed exactly 25 years to the day after they had opened on April 8th of 1999. Although Disney's never really come out and said it, people speculate that high maintenance costs and low attendance rates are why they decided to shut down Discovery Island. They decided to move some of the animals to Animal Kingdom, and then they took the remaining animals and distributed them to different zoos. Discovery Island is abandoned and considered a no trespassing zone. However, it is visible to most Disney guests. Disney's Contemporary Resorts, Wilderness Lodge, and Fort Wilderness Resorts are all in Bay Lake, Florida, so they're very visible. That being said, it kind of blends in with the lake and the surrounding vegetation and stuff, so most people don't even notice that Discovery Island is there, which I think is crazy. You might be wondering to yourself, why doesn't Disney just demolish the park and build something new over the top of it? I was wondering that same thing. Well, evidently, there were some talks going on about Disney maybe collaborating with Cyan Worlds, which is a video game company. They wanted to make an attraction based off the game Myst, which would involve visitors solving different puzzles. But other than that, we don't really know why they're keeping the park up and not demolishing it. Since Discovery Island has closed, there have been a few brave visitors that have decided to sneak into the park and see what Discovery Island looks like today. For example, Matt Sunswa broke into the park in 2017 and filmed his entire experience. He said that everything has remained relatively untouched and that it feels like you're stepping back into 1999, which I think is super cool. I don't know why people make a big deal out of it, because it seems like a cool part of history. He returned to the park again in 2018 and is pretty well known for visiting at different abandoned places. If you're interested in this topic, look him up. He has a YouTube channel. Most recently in 2020, there was a man who was caught camping on Discovery Island for like multiple days, which is wild that nobody even thought to look for him. That's crazy. As you guys probably know, Discovery Island is not the only abandoned park within Disney. And so if you guys want to hear about more spooky Disney stuff, let me know, because that is fascinating to me. Well, guys, we are back from our trip all around the world. I hope you enjoyed learning about different abandoned parks. If you want more content like this, let me know. It was really fun just getting to see different abandoned things, different abandoned parks. It is definitely something that I enjoy learning about. And I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment. It helps me out a lot, and I love hearing from you guys. It's so fun to hear what you guys liked, what you guys didn't like. I have lots of fun true crime stories coming up soon, as well as tier 4 of the Weird YouTube Iceberg, so be looking forward to that. I'm also posting a lot of original TikToks. I'm going to try to post at least one new TikTok a week, so if you're looking for some bite-sized stories, feel free to head over to my TikTok. It's linked down below, and check it out. Pretty spooky. It's pretty spooky. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next video. Keep being the bad bitches that you are. Bye, guys.